It's time for everybody's favorite drafting with Numot. Okay, whatever. M19, we got another draft. What did we open? Mystic Archaeologist, Hieromancer's Cage, and Courser Dragon. Probably just going to take the Archaeologist here. Has the highest upside. I think Cage is a very powerful card, obviously, and white, usually considered the best color in this format by a lot of people, but don't mind just taking a very, very powerful 2-drop. This is just a card that takes over the game if left unchecked, and I think I'm happy to take it here over Cage. Not really passing any other blue cards, so it seems like a fine take. Follow that up with, hey, how about an Exclusion Mage? Two pretty powerful human wizards, so don't mind following that up with. Otherwise, I'm passing Volley Veteran, Skymarch Bloodletter, Rise from the Grave, and some other playable cards, but don't think I'm going to pass the Exclusion Mage after taking Mystic Archaeologist. Pick one, pack one. Alright, and we're not going to take a blue card here, as most of them are quite filler. I think Strangling Spores probably fits the bill here. Good solid removal spell. I do like blue-black in this format, and blue-black tempo can really do some good things. Even blue-black more control slow deck is also fine, but Strangling Spores I think is the best card in the pack. Harpy has the highest upside. You see the combo with it and Active Treason already in the pack here, but don't think I'm going to take it over the Spores. And not too much in this pack. Aviation Pioneer is a fine blue card, one I'm not super thrilled about. Mind Rot's just an okay black card. I'm not going to take that early. And then Rejuvenator and Dreadmaw, both fine green cards. Let's just stay blue for now. No reason not to take the Aviation Pioneer, but it's not a thrilling pick. Engineer could also be a fine consideration if I wanted to stay open to a different color, but we'll just stay with blue for now. No reason to move out. Pick number 5 is in, and what do we have? Some fine black cards. Another Harpy. Seems like if I had taken the first Harpy, we could have done a pretty nice black-red sacrifice deck or something to that effect. I think here we're just taking the Gearsmith Guardian. These black cards are all fine, but we know we want to be playing blue, and the Gearsmith goes well with what I've already taken. Guess I'm a little bit upset that I passed that Engineer now, but I think this is a fine start. Okay, Poison Tip Archer, Starcrown Stag are the forerunners of the good cards in this pack. Could just take the Poison Tip Archer and look to be a Sultai deck. I do like Sultai quite a bit. And I don't see a reason to take the Stag. Let's just see what the Poison Tip does. Not too much here. Could take Hired Blade, Bristling Boar, totally lost. Let's just stick for black for now with the blue. And potentially just take the Hired Blade here. I do like Totally Lost, but you can pick those up later. We're going to probably see a few more later this pack anyways. Easy Frilled Sea Serpent for me. I do like having one of these in my blue decks. It's just a good, solid late game card to play. And can get your opponent as well with the 7-mana unblockable ability. Lots of fixing in the format, so it wouldn't be too hard to splash for this. Pretty easy waltz, in my opinion. I think every black deck wants at least one of these, or at least most black decks, for that matter. Only losing out on Explosive Apparatus, which is filler, so no hard feelings there. Haven't really noticed anything like super open, so we do have a lot of playables, and I don't feel too bad. Nice Rise from the Grave on the wheel. Active Treason wheeled as well, so whoever took the Harpy might be taking those Active Treasons. Speaking of, there's another one. We'll just take that one. Mind Rot, I think, is always a good playable card in the black decks. And sometimes, you know, it's just very, very good, depending on if your opponent's playing a slower deck. Bog Stomper, okay. So overall, first pack didn't go too poorly. We first picked an Archaeologist, got past an Exclusion Mage as the best card in pack 2, which was nice. Ended up taking a Pioneer when I could have taken an Engineer, which might have ended up being a poor pick. But overall, I'm not upset with where we are. I think this is a good start to some kind of control-y list if we want to. Less aggro, it looks like, more control. We'll see what goodies pack 2 can give us. Open the Graves. I do think that is a powerful effect. I just don't think it's a great card. Not one I'm going to take over, say, Horizon Scholar here. Good pack for us if we wanted. Skeleton, Disperse, Boneyard. This is just a little bit too slow for me, and in the grindier games, this can definitely do some work, but I think overall, 4/4 flyer, Scry 2 for 6 mana is going to be a little bit better off. We'll see if this Poison Tip Archer actually ends up getting splashed. It is a card we're splashing for. I think the Skyrider Patrol is a better card, gold card we're splashing for, but Poison Tip is certainly fine. It's very annoying at the very least. Sometimes it just dominates the board state, but we'll have to see. Okay, we got a decent number of blue creatures for our Gearsmith. Liliana, Untouched by Death. Just the worst planeswalker. She doesn't do anything. There aren't enough good playable zombies in this format to really make her worth it. I think here we're probably just taking a Fell Spectre. Either that or I could consider taking Rabid Bite for more green splashes, but Spectre seems fine. I already have a Mind Rot. Another poor pack here for us. Looks like another Hired Blade most likely, as we already have a Waltz. Axe doesn't look like it's going to be amazing here, although it could pay dividends, of course. And Scholar is more filler than anything. Two-Headed Zombie's okay as well, but I think I'd rather take the Hired Blade than the Zombie. Okay, that's a good pickup. Aven Windmage is a solid 3. Gets much better with the more instants and sorceries you're playing. Pass another Omen Speaker, Mind Rot, Two-Headed Zombie. And here it looks to be a Suspicious Bookcase. I do like this card. It might not be at its best in blue-black, but it blocks a lot of creatures early and then can help push through the last few points in the later stages of the game. So we'll take it. Ooh. I am, however, a fan of Divination. I know I'm passing a Foul Orchard here, but I think the Divination is just going to be better overall. We're not even sure we want to end up splashing for this anyways, and drawing cards is kind of like fixing, so don't mind losing out. Easy Strangling Spores number 2 here. We would like to pick up an Endurance at some point in the draft, but I'm not going to pass a good removal spell since we're a little bit lacking in that department and don't even have like a Lich's Caress. And this pack's really poor for us. Sideboard Duress seems fine. Yeah, pack 2 seemed to have helped a decent bit. Got some solid cards all around. Looking to pick up some like Essence Scatters in pack 3. That Boneyard was a very good wheel as well. Some like Essence Scatters, maybe a Disperse, maybe a Lich's Caress, and then maybe one more win con. We'll go ahead and take the Axe here, even though I don't think we're going to end up playing it. I don't think we're going to play the Scholar of Stars either, but it's more likely that we play Axe, I feel like. I guess the Axe and the Scholar kind of go hand in hand. Yeah, and if I play the Axe, I already have 3 artifacts in the deck. It's not like that makes the Scholar awful, right? 4 mana, 3/2s aren't exciting, but if it draws a card, that's not awful. Not the worst case scenario by any means. Haven't seen much blue this pack, so I expect to see a lot of blue in pack 3, which is where we're hoping to pick up like the Essence Scatters, Salvager of Secrets would be good, that type of thing. Maybe some more card draw. Alright, last few picks here. Do have a Two-Headed Zombie. Again, I don't know if we're going to be playing that in our deck, but possible, of course. 2 Mind Rots is probably too many, as I already have a Fell Spectre as well. Tellurian Scholar, filler. Sovereign's Bite, filler. And land, last pick. Alright, pack number 3. What kind of blue cards will I get past, I wonder? Because again, I'm expecting to get quite a few good blue cards in this pack. Well, it's not bad. Departed Deckhand, Rise from the Grave, Foul Orchard, Skymarch Bloodletter. Even a Wall of Mist is not bad. For curve purposes, I'm going to take the Departed Deckhand. I do think it's much better than the Skymarch Bloodletter anyways. This card can often just warp games on its own, as if your opponent doesn't, if your opponent doesn't have any removal or targeted effects, it just continuously gets in for 2 damage and then pushes damage through later in the game as well. So good pickup of a deckhand there. Let's see if we can continue the good picks. Aren't very many spirits in this format. There's like the 1/3 with the rare flyer, and a few others, but I think the total number of spirits in the format is like 4. 2 of them being rare, so not an easy one to block. Ooh, nice pack here. I don't have any synergies with Death Baron currently. Rise from the Grave, sure, but not like the Skeleton Archers, which is the ideal with the Death Baron. Here we're looking at Sift and Wind Mage number 2. I like Sift more than Wind Mage, but I think Wind Mage might actually be a better pickup for us. I think it's close. Wind Mage would definitely be a better creature than some of the other creatures I'm already playing, but it's so hard to pass a Sift. I'm going to go with the Sift here. Card draw is too good. Mirror Image versus Gearsmith number 2. That's a lot of Foul Orchards that we've seen. It seems like the Poison Tip Archer would not have been a hard splash. It's just, I don't think, entirely necessary. This is close. We have some okay Mirror Image targets. I wonder if it's better than Gearsmith number 2, though. Gearsmiths are just fat. This is the nice thing. Like, in your blue decks, playing a 5/5 for 5 is often just good enough, you know? I think we're going to go ahead and take the top end card here and take the Gearsmith. Vampire Neonate. Great. I'm glad we got at least one of those. Would play probably up to 3 if we just went 3 in a row, but card just does so much work. Diregraph Ghoul, no. Skymarch Bloodletter, yes. Passing a Submerged Boneyard number 2. It's just a 1-mana 2/2. You know, it's fine if you have it on turn 1, but we're not like the super aggro deck. I think the Bloodletter's generally just going to be better overall. Okay, I'm going to take Cancel here over Woodland Stream. Again, we could have very easily splashed for the Poison Tip Archer with all the lands that we've seen, but given that we just have a good blue-black deck as it is, I don't think there was a need to do so. Bookcase number 2, Axe, Zombie, Anticipate. Feels like we're probably not running any of these cards, but we'll just take the uncommon. Again, we're not going to be playing any of these cards. I guess we'll take the Foil Swamp. Okay, so we didn't see any Lich's Caress, which is a little bit upsetting, but I think we have a pretty solid deck. Unfortunately, the 2 Strangling Spores are my only true removal spells. I do have Mind Rot, which is some discard and some counter magic, but I didn't see an Essence Scatter, didn't see Lich's Caress, so it's possible I should have moved into a 3-color deck or a different color pairing, as this is not amazing, though it is fine. Okay, another Foul Orchard. I mean, there's the double green lands for splashing the Poison Tip Archer if I really wanted to, but again, I don't think I need to. I'm trying to find a way to get the Marauder's Axe in the deck. Questioning one of these cards here. But I think I like most of what I've got going on right now as we finalize the last few picks of this pack. Gotta make sure I have enough blue creatures for Gearsmith Guardians, and I have like 6 or 5 or something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 even. 7, not bad. I don't think we need the Bog Stompers as we have enough top end already. Not gonna cut the discard effects. What's the Bookcase good with? It's good with our Gearsmiths, and that's about it, but it does buy us time as we have some early flyers. It's fine with Hired Blade. What is Axe good with? Just the few flyers that we have. Alright, so maybe this is not an Axe deck. I think the Bookcase is probably just going to be better in general. Not too much to sideboard for. Duress and some other fine filler cards if need be, but I think we're just going to go like this. Probably go a little bit heavier on the black, I was going to say, but I guess we just go 8-8 down the middle. Pretty even requirements, and only one double blue card, which is cancel. We don't necessarily need that on turn 3. I guess we also have the Frilled Sea Serpent, but that's much later as well. So I'm going to call this a solid blue-black deck. It's not amazing, but definitely can pull through there, I think. So we'll see. Let's go to round 1 and see how we do. Alrighty, here we are for round 1 of this M19 draft with our blue-black deck. We'll be on the play, and we'll be on the mulligan, as one lander is not good. Yeah, perfectly fine. 6-card hand, and yeah, I'll keep the Neonate as well, as it's just a very relevant 1-drop, and I have nothing to do on turn 2 anyways, so that'll be a fine play. Opponent leads on Mountain. Mountain. Do they have a follow-up? Viashino Pyromancer. All right. No big deal there. Not a creature I'm looking to bounce, so let's just Divination. Set up our draw steps, find some land. And yeah, we hit some good ones. We just need to hit one more land and we can Gearsmith. As a Goblin Instigator hits the battlefield. So they're going to be the aggro deck. Which means I don't mind just jamming out the Exclusion Mage, bouncing the token. That way I at least get a 2/2 on the board. As long as you can keep pace with them, you should be okay. This opponent plays a Marauder's Axe here. You can equip it to their Instigator, I imagine. Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to go ahead and trade. Again, just preserving my life total. Even though I lose my blue creature for the Gearsmith here, we still have the Frilled Sea Serpent as a follow-up. And the 3/5 stops the 2/1 even if they equip the axe to it. I have a good feeling that Mind Rot is going to get them here. As opponent cycles a Crash through, equips the axe, and let's see if they attack. Okay, so this is most likely a Sure Strike. It could be a Shock or Lightning Strike, which we'd be happy with, but most likely Sure Strike, which I'm fine. We need to get it out of their hand eventually anyways, so let's force the action. And I'm just going to play the Sea Serpent here instead of using the Mind Rot, as I still think we're going to get 2 cards next turn. Yep, Fire Elemental pass from the opponent. Now we jam a Mind Rot, say, haha, sucker. Last 2 cards are gone. Land and another Fire Elemental, sure, and then the Wind Mage. And we're going to hold the land in our hand because we have like a Sift. So if we want to discard the land to Sift and a Waltz, that will be good enough. So Axe is going to move over to Fire Elemental. We are going to trade with our Frilled Sea Serpent. Hopefully they didn't draw another Sure Strike this turn. That would be really brutal. 4-mana Havoc Devils. Alright, annoying, but not the worst. Hey, there's that Sift. Okay, good. And we'll discard land. Play out the Pioneer. And again, I'm just passing here. Because we have the Archaeologist now especially, we just want to trade as much as we can. So I'll block with the 2/2 and the 1/2 here to leave the 1/2 to trade away with the Pyromancer on a following turn. Again, this is the point where we hope that they didn't draw another combat trick. Nice, so we'll take 3. Hopefully they just equip and pass, or play a Lightning Mare, sure. That's actually going to get me. It can't be blocked by blue creatures. So they are potentially going to hit me for quite a bit here. I think this is probably a chump from me on the Lightning Mare with my Neonate. Otherwise, I'm taking 8 damage and going to 5. I guess maybe that's not that bad. I will lose to a Thud here, but I suppose we want to see what we draw first before making that option. Before making that play. Did you really draw a Shock? Or you drew an Electrify? Okay, good draw. Well, now they can't pump it except for 1 more. So I think we'll take the hit here for 6. And then the Guardian can just trade with it next turn. Ah, so can the Fell Spectre. Good. Yep. That is much more ideal. Play out both of our creatures, offer the trade Lightning Mirror for Fell Spectre if they attack. Then we still have the Guardian as well. Electrify was a good draw for the opponent. If they didn't draw a removal spell there, Archaeologist was going to just take over the game. Okay, good draw. Play out our deckhand. We can start bashing them for 5. I do need to make some moves here. I can't just sit back forever, so pressuring the opponent while we can is good. And now we get to start activating the Neonate, which we've actually never used since turn 1, surprisingly. We're going to turn 11, and this is the first time we're going to be using the Neonate. Oof, that's disgusting. Okay, that is a lot of damage. I need to draw Strangling Spores next turn. We have 2 in the deck. That would be very good. I'm going to be at an effective 9. That is not a Strangling Spores. Well, we're not blocking with Departed Deckhand, so let's attack with that. Can I attack with Deckhand and Gearsmith? I then block there, block there. It's a little risky, but I could. It does put them on a 2-turn clock. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I think I'm going to go for it. I think I'm going to go for the 2-turn clock. As I have enough toughness to block next turn. And this way, if they don't kill me exactly next turn, then we win on the following turn. So Spectre's going to block Lightning Mare if it attacks. And then Pioneer and Neonate go in front of the Inferno. They need to draw like a Lava Axe here or something. Whew! And they did not. We went for the kill, and it ended up working out. Nice. So opponents on that super aggro mono red deck could bring in Duress. Bookcase number 2 doesn't seem awful. Even Scholar doesn't seem terrible. Is there anything in my deck that I don't want? I don't think so. I think we don't need to bring in any of these cards. I think we probably just run it back as it is. Yeah, it was important that last turn to try to kill them in 2 turns. Because otherwise, what am I doing, right? If I just attack for 2 there, leave back the Gearsmith Guardian, I'm going to be trading it away, and then I'm losing a lot of pressure. So I think that was good. Ended up working out at the very least, but you have to remember, play to win and not play to survive, to live. Because if you're just playing to live, well, sure, you might extend your life for a few more turns, but then the opponent kills you anyways, and what was it for, you know? Pretty nice hand here. I'm gonna lead with deckhand, start bashing in potentially. Archaeologist is a nice late game. Hopefully they don't have turn 1 Motivator. Ooh, Pioneer was also a very good draw. Just making 2 bodies versus the red deck is basically what you want to be doing. And we can see why Pioneer is going to be so good here. If they have their Sure Strike, they might use it on the deckhand this turn just to kill it and get in. Could also just develop out their board, which it looks like they're doing. And that is all fine. We've got a pretty nice curve here. Gonna go ahead and attack for 2 as we're not blocking with the deckhand. Pioneer, just a solid play versus the opponent. Ooh, a Volley Veteran. Probably gonna kill my deckhand still, I would imagine. Yeah, shooting for 3. And let's go with the Wind Mage here and just pass the turn. Again, our game plan is just to stabilize and hold the board, try to take as little damage as we can in the early game, and then take over the late game with our more powerful spells. Easy trade here for me, if given the opportunity. I don't want to trade 2 creatures off for it. Reason being is that the 2 creatures are better versus the goblins, and especially since they have the axe. But it looks like the opponent's thinking about using an Electrify before I block, but I'm just going to go ahead and block here. 4 mana, Havoc Devils, that's fine. Hired Blade was not a bad draw. I have a few options. I could play Archaeologist and hold up Hired Blade, or I could just jam the Gearsmith. I think I'm going to go with the Archaeologist and jam the Hired Blade. Just use my mana up and kind of surprise them. Because right as it stands, I don't have good single blocks on the Devils. And this might prompt some silliness. Again, Sure Strike is a little annoying here if they have it, but we'll see. Okay, axe over to the Devils. And I'm going to flash in and say, show me the Sure Strike. Taking 4 even if they don't have the Sure Strike. If they do have the Sure Strike, I'd be taking 7. Alright, Lightning Mare pass. We have the Thopter right now to block the Mare, so I think we're okay jamming the blue creature. Nice. Bottom the land. Top the Strangling Spores. Pass. Good old Thopter doing some work here. Onake Ogre, 4-2, okay. And I'm just going to pass the turn after drawing our spores. We get to hold up Strangling Spores and hold up Mystic Archaeologist activation. That just seems so much better than playing out our random Gearsmith, which, while good here, just not necessary. No attacks, okay. I think we bash in with the Scholar. Feeling pretty safe now with spores in hand. Was this a thud on my Thopter? It is. So they're going to plan on getting in with the Lightning Mare. That's good for me. Yep. So both the Ogre and the Mare attack, presumably. I think I'm okay just taking 4 damage. Going to 12. Let's attack for 4. And just jam the Gearsmith here. Now if they want to trade with the Gearsmith, they have to equip the axe to the Ogre. And I'm going to take that trade. Easy. Getting rid of one of their high power creatures also stops them from having like another thud. And with the Mystic Archaeologist, if we're trading 1 for 1, we're winning that game. Handily. But you also just have him dead next turn to the Flyer. Yeah, pretty good spot here. Horizon Scholar bashes them for 4, and then the Fell Spectre that they don't know about in my hand will hit them for the last 2. Alright. Beat the mono red deck, and we're off to round 2. Stay tuned. Round 2, fight on the draw. Fine hand. Going to be just running out this Archaeologist on turn 2 as an extra blocker, most likely. Depending on if we draw anything better to do. This opponent also playing some sort of red deck. Red-blue, alright. Red-blue usually a little bit more aggressive as well. Divination was a nice draw. More reason for us to run out the Archaeologist even if they have an Essence Scatter. As on the draw, if your first spell cast is Divination, you have to end up discarding, so having something to do here means if I just Divination next turn, I don't have to discard. Alright, Onake Ogre from the OP. And we're just going to Divination here. Again, we're hoping to play the long game. So if they attack, I'm definitely going to trade away. We have just so much gas in hand. It looks like they used an Electrify though. Alright. That's a hit for 4. Yep, and I'm just going to main phase Strangling Spores in case they have an island and have a counter in their hand. Would love to hit a land next turn. Nice. Very, very good. Yeah, let's just apply the pressure, though. I don't think Rise from the Grave is good enough here. Gearsmith Guardian doesn't currently attack into their Enigma Drake, but with one land, we can Scholar and attack for 5 and also produce a 4/4 flyer. Worst case scenario, we just end up sifting and trying to dig into something. Again, I just want to preserve life total. Dwindle. Okay, well, that's not that bad. That's their entire turn. Still just love to draw a land here. Hired Blade. That ain't what I'm asking for. Could run out the Fell Spectre and block the Drake, but it's only dealing 1 damage right now, so I'd rather set up my draws. Get rid of this Hired Blade that currently doesn't do anything. All the flyers seem more relevant. Okay, they did hit their second blue source. Right now the Drake's not that much of an issue since it's only dealing 1 damage, but not hard to imagine it being pretty gross as they play Fire Elemental. This is an important turn because I'm gonna go ahead and run out the Scholar here, but if the opponent has another removal spell, say an Electrify, we really get bricked. Gonna go ahead and bottom both. Luckily we can block Fire Elemental with the Gearsmith and then bring it back with Rise from the Grave. But we'll see. Just another Dwindle, okay. Yep. Let's block with a Scholar and bring it back with Rise. If we hit another land, we can actually hold up counter as well. Well, not that land. I still think we do it, though. I still think we Rise on our Horizon Scholar. And yes, I'm going to keep the Mind Rot on top, as they have 3 cards in their hand. Again, we're hoping to fade this turn as well. No more removal, please. 3rd Dwindle! You are just a rude dude, sir. Okay. Well, chump here, take 1. We get to go Fell Spectre, make them discard a card. Into Mind Rot, discard your hand, and they lose 6 life in the process. We might actually inadvertently pump up their Enigma Drake too if they discard some instants and sorceries, which is funny. They discarded a Havoc Devil though. Alright, let's see what the last 2 cards are in their hand. Spark Tongue Dragon and a Frilled Sea Serpent. Wow, those were some good discards. All right. And even though we're a little bit behind on board, the opponent's now living on the top of their library. So if they just whiff here and hit a land for the turn, then I think we're in really good shape. Yeah, we have a Waltz in our deck, so it's worth it to get the Scholar in the graveyard again. Oof. Another Enigma Drake was not exactly what I wanted to see, though. Gearsmith was good. Gearsmith was pretty good. I think I like playing the Bloodletter this turn and holding up Spores and Cancel. Another consideration I was thinking of was just holding up Cancel and Spores this turn. But I think this is going to work. They're due for a land. So I'm pre-blocks, I'm going to go for the Spores on their Fire Elemental to see if they have a Cancel. If they don't, then I get to eat it with the Fell Spectre. Great. No plays. Awesome. And now we get to kind of take over the game as I play Gearsmith Guardian, hold up Cancel, and then we can start bashing in next turn. Would love to hit one more untapped land next turn, though, so that I can play Frilled Sea Serpent, hold up Cancel, and thereby pump up our Gearsmith as well. Nice. We did it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we can attack for 5. Good stuff. And now they have to block next turn, one of my big creatures. So they have triple Dwindle and Electrify. I probably bring in Duress versus them. Blue-red spells. I could activate the Frilled Sea Serpent, but I don't see a reason to. I guess they could go Chump Chump instead. Yeah, this way. I guess I forced them to block the Gearsmith and automatically take 4. Alright, you got 1 draw. Better make it a good one. And it was not. Perfect. Good game there. Took a few beats in the early game, but we were able to maneuver our way past all of their dwindles. Okay, let's bring in that Duress. Again, it looks like Bookcase is not going to be necessary in this matchup. All of their creatures are either flying or just very, very large, and looks like the Bookcase unnecessary. It's possible that Hired Blade isn't worth it, and that maybe I should just be running like the two-headed zombie instead. Okay, they put me on the play, and I'm fine with this hand. Sift on the play always feels good. I don't think you need to Duress on turn 1. Versus them, they probably have some amount of counters, so I'll wait a few turns, give them a few more turns to draw. Probably going to fire off the Duress next turn, though, before I cast the Sift, the turn before I cast Sift. A little bit awkward, but still think we Duress here instead of just jamming out the Neonate. And what do we got? Tormenting Voice, Electrify, Dwindle. The removal spells are a little bit annoying for sure. I think we're going to get rid of the Electrify. It's the removal spell that's most annoying, because Dwindle, at least I get an extra block out of it. Out of the deal, that is to say. Alright, Island. Let's see if they Tormenting Voice this turn. Yes, it looks like they are. Discarding their Totally Lost. I'm okay with that. Good opportunity for us to sift while nobody has any pressure on the board. And we can discard excess island. Next turn, I think we play out Neonate and then hold up Hired Blade for their Havoc Devils, which I assume is hitting the battlefield here. Sarkhan's Unsealing! Oh, God. Okay. I lied. We're dead. Wow. Well, there's Havoc Devils. Now we understand why they're running Onake Ogre. This is an issue. They might just dwindle this turn since they don't need to run out the Havoc Devils. And the Devils triggering Unsealing doesn't kill my Gearsmith Guardian, but gross. Gross, gross, gross. Oh, okay, they did run out the Devils. Well, I mean, it still hits me for 4, if nothing else. 4 cards left in their hand. We do another Gearsmith. But I think we just attack, play Neonate, and then Hired Blade, try to trade away for the Devil. It is not going to be an easy card to beat, though. Surprise! I will block. I will not block, apparently. What was that, Electrify? Alright, sure. Go down to 12 here. I'm going to sit back this turn, just play a secondary Gearsmith. That way they can't dwindle the one that I left back and get in for 4. They can dwindle one, but then I can block with the other. And next turn is when I probably start trying to turn the corner. I wouldn't mind drawing a land next turn so I can go Wind Mage plus Hired Blade. Oh wow, the Enigma Drake actually triggers it because they have 4 cards, or 4 instants and sorceries in the graveyard. Disgusting. Alright, there's the land, so let's play the Wind Mage. Attack for 10. I can't sit back forever. They're going to win that game. They might kill me this turn. We'll see, though. Okay, bash, bash, yes. Play out the Hired Blade here. And so have to chump. And I actually get to double block here. Reason being is they only have 4 power, I have 5 toughness. So this way I don't take any trample damage, and they have to make the choice of killing either the Hired Blade or the Neonate. Okay, good. No damage taken. I do lose my blue creature, though. And they did have a dwindle. Okay. Any follow-up play? Double dwindle! Alright, land gone from their hand. We get to... Oh, I could rise from the grave this turn instead. Yeah, I think we actually rise from the grave their Havoc Devil this turn. And I'm not dead to them playing a singleton 4-power creature as we go to 9 from the Neonate. So if they attack and like pass, I get to bash them for 4 and then potentially kill them with the Fell Spectre. Unlikely that they have nothing, of course, but gotta play to my outs. Yeah, take 4. I go to 4. did have an ogre, sure. I think they're gonna... Oh, they're shooting me. They're not shooting the devil. Do I kill them? They take 2, they go to 4. Wow, we might pull this off still. I think Strangling Spores wins. No, it doesn't, never mind. Oh! That wins, though. Fell Spectre. If they don't have a counter, I get to Mind Rot and they take 4 total. No! They did have a cancel! Ah, damn it. Did I make a mistake? What if... No, because if I Mind Rot first, they don't take any damage. Damn. So close. Oh, so close. Yeah, if I Mind Rot, they just cancel it. Oh, wait. No, they just cancel it instead. No, I think that was the right play. Oh. Brutal. Absolutely brutal. I think we're running it back. I'm not going to bring in 2 Mind Rots. Okay, let's do it. On the play, game 3. Divination on the play seems fine. Just need to fade that Sarkhan's Unsealing. Yeah, I went for the win there instead of the survive. Because if I play the Mind Rot first, yeah, it gets rid of their counter spell, but then I'm just playing a chump blocker afterwards. Strangling Spore is not great versus their Enigma Drakes. He is good versus the Havoc Demon, though. Or Havoc Devil, whatever it's called. Alright, we have cancel mana. That is a lot of lands. This might be a problem. This is an issue. Alright, well. Sometimes you draw nothing but lands. We can kill that with spores. Not gonna waste cancel on that. This Hired Blade's not doing me many favors, but you take what you can get, I guess. Really need to find, like, my Sift. Alright. Pioneer's not awful. At least it's a warm body. Even if it doesn't do anything. Alright, here come the fire elementals. No, nothing again? I'm okay with that. It's not a bad draw either. Alright, so we're going to attack here first with the Pioneer and the Blade, because I don't want to run a spell out pre-combat and have them pump up their Drake. I'm not attacking with Thopter just in case they want to electrify something. We'll see if they want to counter this. They do not. Alright, so they discard a card. Probably a land, given how they've played out this game so far. We have board presence, we're just not doing very much. Sentinel. Nope, we're not going to counter that. They might be waiting until they can cast Cancel plus Unsealing. So... would be really nice to find Duress. Ooh, good. I'm not going to cancel that back. That's great for me. Reason being is we have the Waltz in our hand anyways, so them getting rid of their cancel means they're not going to be able to cancel my cancel. Still looking for Sift. I wonder how many dwindles they're sitting on right now. Probably at least one, I would say. And I just haven't played a good target for them to dwindle down. Alright, draw go. This is where Neonate would shine. It just sits on the battlefield draining for 1 while both players are saying draw go. Tormenting Voice. Oh, they take 2 for discarding a card to Tormenting Voice. Sucker. Give me a Duress or a Mind Rot. Or another irrelevant 3-2. I'm just giving them too much time, though. 6 cards in their hands still. There's good old Fireman. Yeah, I'll run out the blade. Okay, Wind Mage wasn't an awful draw. Wasn't great, but at least it does something. They still have 5 cards in their hand. Holy moly. I think they're holding on to some number of lands for Mind Rot, which they know I have in my deck. Fiery Finish. Okay, that's fine. I don't really need that Wind Mage anyways. And they are going to start attacking. Alright, deal. That means I can start attacking as well. Ooh, Sift. How do we want to play this turn? I think we just Sift to start things off. Okay, well. At least we're getting rid of lands, I suppose. Can attack for 2 now. Gonna sit on this cancel. Just waltz next turn. Take 3 in the air. I'll double block the Fire Elemental with Pioneer and Blade if they attack with it. Pass. That's not good. Neo was a good draw, though. I can't actually attack with flyers now since they have the Sentinel. Let's play the Neonate. Let's play the Serpent. Say go. Expect the Serpent to get dwindled next turn. Which I think we just have to allow to happen. That's fine. I don't think I block just yet. We can start chumping a little bit later. Ooh, Rise from the Grave. What does that do? Not the most, but probably good enough. Get back our Exclusion Mage here. Bounce the Fire Elemental this turn. Lets us attack with both of our hired blades. In fact, I think I can actually just attack in with everything. As if they want to animate and eat a flyer, then they're taking a lot of damage on the ground. Totally lost. I think at this point we counter. This is a big turn that we push a lot of damage in. So they have Fire Elemental and 4 unknowns in their hand. Okay, they didn't have the unsealing there. That's good. Dwindle my hired blade, sure. Let's see if they attack me for 4 here. I don't know if they do. It's a little bit risky because the Neonate effectively has them at 3 life right now. Okay, so I have I have 4 attackers. They have 2 blockers. I guess they're going for the kill. Does that win? That wins, right? Yep. Deckhand. Make Hired Blade unblockable. Bash for 4 unblockable damage. And GG, woof, scary. Scary, scary. But we are now 2-0, and, well, we'll be back for the finals. Here we are for the finals of this M19 draft with our blue-black deck. On the draw, but I cannot keep this one lander. So we'll go down to 6. And keep this and be sad. Bottom a 4-drop. We're going to need to run kind of hot to get out of this mess. Island's a good start. Now we need to draw a divination off the top. 1 time. Blue-white. Could be flyers, could be artifacts. I'm going to guess that they have some number of artifacts in their deck. Hopefully they don't just have a turn 3 skilled animator bashing me for 5. Go bookcase. Oh! They kept a 2-lander and whiffed. Whew. Might have some time here. I'm going to go ahead and use Mind Rot now. Reason being is we bottomed the Fell Spectre, so we're not getting the damage value there. And because they're missing land drops, it's unlikely that I'm going to be able to get them when they have two cards in hand, not until much later. And as you can see, they discarded a 6-drop and a 5-drop. Horizon Scholar and Salvager of Secrets, and then missed another land. Nice. That might be good enough. Pass with the Hired Blade and the Strangling Spores here. They drew a Field Creeper. Absolutely. Land? Nice. Now we just start jamming Gearsmiths. Equip the field, yep. I think I'm actually going to trade. They just have too many Artifacts Matters cards, and so getting the creature off the battlefield is going to pay dividends anyways, just to clear up our board. So, next turn we play Aven Wind Mage, attack them for 10. Did they have the skilled animator is the question. Sigh! Oh my. Alright, Wind Mage. Attack for 10. And now if they don't block, they're just going to die in 2 turns to our Neonate plus Suspicious Bookcase, making one of our 5/5s unblockable, so. Sometimes it just takes a little luck. Your opponent stumbles a little bit. But obviously this game is looking very good for us since our opponent missed for so long on their 3rd land drop. As they play an Explosive Apparatus here. We might just see them fire off my Wind Mage main phase. Ah, they did have the animator. Okay. Alright, I dig it. Well, this is not going to work well for them, right? I can just make Gearsmith unblockable. Force them to chump my Aven Wind Mage with their Thopter, and then they're just dead to the Neonate next turn. Yeah, for sure they thought they were going to just apparatus my Wind Mage when they had the chance, because it would have turned off my Guardians, made them 3/5s instead. This worked out. Alright, got a little lucky there, but I will take it. Again, considering bringing in Duress versus the Blue-White Artifacts deck. And maybe I can take out Rise from the Grave versus them. That doesn't seem all that necessary. They are on the play. We have a pretty good hand. If we can draw one more land, we get a curve Deckhand into Exclusion Mage and probably just tempo them out. Ah, poor OP mulligan to 5 now. Yikes. Yeah, our round 2 might have been, in fact, our finals, in the sense that our hardest matchup might have been the last match. Three mana. Courser, they cannot block this. No reason to exclusion mage. Not this turn anyways. Doesn't really do anything. Gallant Cavalry is good, sure. We'll see if they block with the Pegasus. Darn, they did. Alright. And I'm just going to exclusion mage, bounce their knight token, get the value there. I don't think they're attacking with the Courser, which is why I attacked my Wind Mage. Another Pegasus Courser. Oh, they are attacking. Okay. I mean, I guess it makes sense to attack now that they have a second one. So let's go Sifting here. I don't know why I didn't duress first, but I'm going to Sift here. Discard the excess island. Duress the last card in their hand, whatever it might be. Looks like it's a Disperse or a Mighty Leap. They should kill my deckhand if it is. They did have a Disperse, darn you. And let's attack for 4. I need to be a little bit careful as the double Courser, I mean, if they just draw a creature this turn, we could have an issue. No attacks, though. All right, that's good for us. And they kept one card in their hand, so let's jam the Fell Spectre. Make them use it if they have something, or if they kept a land, punish them. Nice it was, so they take 2 damage. We'll play the Bookcase. And we are sitting in good good shape, excuse me. Land pass. We can start using the Bookcase if we want. More than likely, we're just going to play the Frilled Sea Serpent here, though, and just get another fatty on the battlefield. Yeah. Let's get the 6 drop down. And then now we can start using the Bookcase on the Serpent and holding up 3 drops. Feel a little bit bad for the opponents, but them's the breaks sometimes, as they got stuck on 2 mana in game 1 and then mulligan to 5 here in game 2. Okay, Luminous Bonds was fine. We still have them on a 2-turn clock, though, as we flash in the Hired Blade here, end of turn, and that still represents a 2-turn clock with the Bookcase. I probably should not even run out this Pioneer in case they have Cleansing Nova in their deck, and they just wrath the board, and then we're living off the top. Yeah, that was a mistake. I should not have run out the Pioneer. I get extremely punished if they have a Cleansing Nova. Take Vengeance, kill the Bookcase, though. But I think we now have lethal, as I can kill the Flyer, and they just don't have enough blockers. GG's. Alrighty. Not bad. Always feels good to 3-0 a draft. Some close games there in the second round. This round, rather. Round 3 was not very close, as our opponent just stumbled one way or another. So take a look there at this nice little blue-black deck. I wouldn't call it aggro, but it definitely had some good draws. Just solid cards all around. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Don't forget to follow me here, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and check out all of my other content here on my YouTube page. You can also catch me streaming every weekday over at twitch.tv/NumotTheNummy. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see you next time.